Hello, beautiful world. This is Yvette B, Hair Guru, coming to you live and direct from EHS Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, aka my dining room. Okay, so I have a couple of things. I have a couple of questions that have been posed to me over the past week that I'm going to go ahead and address. Um, One of the questions was about hair care, and it was, how often should a girl get her hair trimmed? And the answer to that is, a couple of folds actually. If you have healthy hair, let's say you've watched Yvette B-Hair Guru Healthy Hair 101 and you're following the regimen where you're taking your vitamins, drinking your water, and tying your hair up every night and keeping it moisturized and all that good stuff. By the way, if you haven't watched it, you can feel free to do that after you watch this one. But let's say you're following your regimen and you're tying your hair up. You probably will only need to get your hair trimmed like once every 6 to 8 weeks. And that will only be, it'll be such a tiny amount that you won't even be able to tell. Like, seriously, it'll be really a small amount. Okay, so, and then that's the first part. The second part is, let's just say you have hair that maybe it's been mistreated a little bit. Maybe it's been a long time since you've been able to care for it. Maybe you've been, I don't know, maybe anything has happened, but in that case, let's say you can tell what your split ends will look like. Let's first of all get into that. What do split ends look like? So let's say you have 12 inches of hair, and this 6 inches up here is thick, looks healthy, looks beautiful, but this 6 inches down here is see-through, it's brittle. You try to flat iron it, it won't go straight. You're having problems with it. It's very, like, it almost looks like a broom, and it almost feels like a broom too. So that's the hair that you're gonna have to get rid of, but you might not want to take just 6 inches off your hair at one time. And if that's the case, then what you want to do is make sure you get into a regimen where you're going into a salon and getting your hair done. When you have troubled hair, you need to go into the salon and address what's going on with your hair. So in that case, you go in, you get on a treatment. You can get a conditioning treatment done. You can get hair Botox done, which is something that we do. We're the only salon in Atlanta right now doing hair Botox. And that's an awesome, awesome conditioning treatment. But you come in, let's say you get a hair Botox done. And then those ends that you have, those 6 inches that you have going on, you come in and you get maybe a half an inch, or yeah, I'll say a half an inch cut. Okay, and then you go home and you start in that Healthy Hair 101 regimen. Then you come back 6 to 8 weeks. You get another half an inch cut off. Same thing. Next time you go, you get into a regimen. You get go another 6 to 8 weeks. Get another half an inch cut off until you get to the good stuff. And then once you've gotten, because what will be happening is while you're going back home, you're taking care of your hair, you're growing out in half an inch. And then you're coming in and getting that half an inch taken off. So it's not like you're going to see a big, huge change in your hair, but you won't see a change in the length, but you will see a change in the health of the hair. And that's what you really want to get to. You want to get to the money. That's the money. The money is taking that little scraggly stuff off, leaving that good stuff, and growing that good stuff down. But even if it's bad and it's scraggly and it's raggedy and you're looking a hot boo-boo mess, still tie it up at night. Still get that moisture in there. Still do all those good things that you're supposed to do. And, it'll eventually snap into place. But I would definitely recommend a hair treatment and going in to see a professional and getting that hair trimmed at least a half an inch every 6 to 8 weeks. That's if you have really, really bad ends. Otherwise, you can just get a little bit cut off every 6 to 8. Next question came up, which is a really, really good question. I was asked, if a person is trying to cover their gray, how often is it safe to color their hair? Now I know people who have gray and they just want to color it like every week. They want to come in, they want to get color. There is a such thing as over coloring your hair and over processing your hair. So let's just say, one, I would try to find an option that's a non-chemical option to covering your gray. So let's say you can do a semi or a demi, and you can find one that does excellent gray coverage. I would say to go with that option first. That's A. Get something that's not like peroxide and ammonia and all that kind of stuff. Get something that's really, really mild that you can put on your hair. And then I would do that. You go about every 2 weeks, you can get that done. You want to make sure that you're just addressing your gray and just addressing your roots though. And if you get a semi or demi, that's a really good one, you probably can just address your roots. But you know, you got to get to, again, to the professional grade of stuff. You got to be coming into the salon to get that professional stuff that really works, that is not gonna, you know, dry your hair and rip your hair out. But you can go about every 2 weeks. In the meantime, they do have these little, like if you have black hair or you have dark brown hair, they do have these little pencil things that you can use, that you can go in and kind of cheat and color your hair with those little pencils. I would recommend that in the meantime. But I would say safely, a person can go about 2 weeks, and then it's going to be time. And I'm going to say if you're making your hair darker, definitely you can go 2 weeks. Now, if you're lightening your hair and you're going like light browns, light blondes, all of that, you have to have enough space in there for your stylist to safely get in without overlapping your color. And if you're getting bleach, it's very important to not overlap. So I would, or even if you're not getting bleach, even if you're just lightening your hair, you don't want to do too much overlappage, because it turns out to be a bad color job and your hair is probably suffering more than it needs to. So with lightening, I would say anything from 2 to 4 weeks in between each one. And I know that some stylists are not going to be happy with me saying, you know, 4 weeks. But I would say anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks is a safe bet if you're lightening and you're covering your gray. If you're darkening and you're covering your gray, you can go about every 2. If you're doing permanent color, permanent color, again, it's always best to kind of give yourself enough space to safely be able to get that color on. So if you're doing permanent darkening, then you want to go 2 to 4 weeks. So that is my answer to the questions of the week. That is the answer to the how often should a girl get her hair trimmed and how often should a girl go covering up her grays. And also, when you are covering and coloring and all that stuff, you got to make sure you get a professional involved, and you got to make sure that you are conditioning and moisturizing, because color needs more love than regular hair. So if you're really horrible at taking care of your natural hair, I would not recommend trying to get some color until you've grown to the space where you can really love your hair up a lot. I would wait on the color. But if you can't wait and you got to go in and you got to get it done, make sure that you just try to be as good to your hair as you possibly can. You make sure you get your moisture in, make sure you're getting your tie-ups in, make sure you're going to your professionals and getting those conditioning treatments done, because it's so important. And I am going to sign off now, because I think I got everything out the way. Make sure you check me out, Yvette B-Hair Guru. I am on YouTube, of course. You can also check me out at, what's this? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. Facebook.com/extensions hair studio. Or you can check me out in the Twitterverse, Twitter.com/extensions hair s. And I am here for you. So any questions that you might have, I'm open to answering them for you as always. Peace, love, and mohair. Thank you so much. Get the royal treatment. EHS signing off.